Hello and welcome to Morehouse's Math Menagerie. Today we're going to talk about chi-square goodness of fit tests. However, before we begin, I would like to start with this nice quote from Ron Swanson. Okay, today we're going to talk about the distribution of M&M colors. We have sampled 2,620 M&Ms. The company, the M&M company itself, claims that this is the distribution for the percents of each color of M&M. If that is true, then out of our 2,620 M&Ms, we would expect about this many of each color. So 24% of that would be 628.8, 13% of the 2,620 would be 340.6, and so forth. Now, when we counted the different colors, we observed these numbers. There were 568 blue and so forth. The question we're asking is, does the observed counts match the distribution of expected counts? To run our hypothesis test, the first step here is to define our parameter and our hypotheses. These are a little bit different as far as hypotheses because we're going to write out a sentence for them instead of using symbols. Our null hypothesis is that the company's claimed distribution of M&M colors is correct, and the alternative is that the company's claimed distribution of M&M colors is incorrect. Step 2 are conditions. We have 3 conditions for a chi-square goodness of fit test. The first one is random sampling. We will treat the bags of M&Ms we opened as a random sample. The 10% condition for independence. And last, we have to check a large counts condition. This is a little bit different than the large counts condition we had for proportions. Here, we need to be able to say that all the expected counts are at least 5. If you'll recall from the previous slides, all of the expected counts were well above 5. Okay, for step 3, we're going to do our calculations. Here, we're going to use the chi-square test statistic, where we take the observed value minus the expected value, we square that, and then divide it by the expected value and sum all of those up. And you will also recall from our talk in class that the degrees of freedom are the number of categories minus 1. So here, if we go back to our table and we hand calculate all of the chi-square numbers, you can see that bottom row, we're going to sum those up to get our test statistic. When we add those all up, we get 14.8981. We have a degrees of freedom of 5. So plugging that into our calculator for the chi-square CDF, we see that our p-value is 0.0108. Step 4, the last step in our significance test, is our p-value of 0.0108 is less than alpha equals 0.05. Thus, we reject the null hypothesis in favor of the alternative hypothesis. There is sufficient evidence to suggest that the company's claimed distribution of M&M colors is incorrect. Now, I want to talk about a few extra things, but I thought we should take a break to read this funny comic. When we calculate the chi-square test statistic, it can be a little bit daunting to do by hand. So fortunately, our calculator will do it for us. If we enter in our observed values into list 1 and the expected values into list 2, we can go to Stat, Tests, and find the chi-square GOF test. That GOF stands for goodness of fit. We indicate that our observed is in L1 and expected is in L2, and that we have a degrees of freedom of 5. Once we hit calculate, we get an output here that gives us both our chi-square test statistic and our p-value. We do have one more thing to cover, but here is a good comic just to take a little break. All right, often when we end up rejecting the null hypothesis in favor of the alternative hypothesis, we want to look at where the distributions were mainly different. If we go back to our table where we hand calculated the observed minus expected squared divided by expected values, you can see that the blue and the green M&M categories had the largest contribution to that chi-squared number. Also, if we looked at the calculator, you see that CNTRB list at the bottom of the test output. That is the contributions list. That list is automatically stored in your calculator under second stat. When you access your list, you'll recall we came here previously to find our resid list when we were doing the least squares regression. Now we can go back to the same list of lists to find our contributions list. If we go into stat and edit and highlight list 3, we can enter in that contributions list and see that again, the first category, which was blue, and the third category, which was green, had the highest contributions to the chi-squared test statistic. Now, when we are doing this follow-up analysis, they would like us to do a couple of things. They want to indicate where the largest contributions came from, and they want us to analyze if those contributions were above or below what was expected. So here we would make a statement that the two largest contributors to the chi-square statistic came from blue and green M&Ms. There were about 61 fewer blue M&Ms than expected and about 37 more green M&Ms than expected. All right, thank you for joining us today. I'll leave you this inspirational quote from Michael Scott.